right. Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to South Africa.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is. We're looking into this really cool young artist named Nia.
Hmm.
People have sent in all sorts of stuff, articles about her, interviews she's given, even some like early reviews of her work. It's pretty amazing.
Early reviews, so she's kind of just starting out then.
Yeah, I mean, she's been working for a while, but she's really starting to get some recognition.
I see.
And what we really want to dig into today is how she uses her art to, like tackle some of the tough issues facing South Africa today.
Oh, like the social and political stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just, it's a surface level thing, it's deep. And her story is really inspiring.
Sounds like it. So where do we begin?
Well, one thing that really stood out to me was how closely her art is connected to her personal experiences and like the community she comes from.
Yeah, that always makes art so much more powerful, right? When it's coming from a real place.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
not just about like pretty pictures. It's about telling a story.
Yeah. Yeah. So how is she reflecting her community in her art?
So there's this one piece, it's called Sunrise Over Soweto, and it was featured in this article from ArtSpeak.
Okay.
And in the article, they talk about how she uses these incredibly vibrant colors to like show the resilience of the people there, even though they face some really tough economic challenges.
Wow. So even in the struggles, there's a sense of hope.
Yeah, that's exactly what comes through in the painting. It's really moving.
I can imagine.
And there was also this interview in the African Voice where she talks about how art became her outlet for like dealing with the complexities of growing up in a post-apartheid society.
Makes sense. Art can be such a powerful way to process difficult experiences, to work through trauma, and like find a way to express things that are hard to put into words.
Right. And she doesn't shy away from those difficult conversations at all. In fact, there was one review, I think it was in the Cape Times, where they actually criticized her work for being too political.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it seemed like she used that criticism to like push her art even further, almost like it fueled her creative fire.
Yeah, I get that. Like sometimes pushback can be the thing that makes you dig in even deeper, be even more bold.
Exactly. And you can really see that in her exhibition, which was featured in that Art Now article.
Oh, yeah. What was that like?
Well, it wasn't just about showcasing her own work. She also used it as a platform to highlight other young, up-and-coming artists from her community.
Oh, that's so cool. So she's using her success to lift others up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about how art throughout history has been used for activism and social commentary.
Oh, for sure. There are so many examples of that, like, Picasso's Guernica,
Yeah.
a masterpiece born out of the horrors of war, or even like all those incredible murals that came out of the Chicano movement.
Right. There's just something about art that can like transcend language. It can move people in a way that words sometimes can't.
Totally. It can challenge perspectives, inspire action.
And I think we see that reflected in Naya's work too, especially in the piece they talk about Broken Chains, which directly addresses the legacy of apartheid.
Powerful title.
Yeah. And she uses symbolism and color in a way that creates this really strong visual metaphor for oppression and the fight for freedom, which resonates on both a personal and like universal level.
That's fascinating. It makes you think about the impact of her work. Do you think, is she like aiming to create tangible change with her art? Or is it more about just raising awareness?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a bit of both, right? Art alone might not like completely dismantle systemic issues,
Right.
but it can definitely be a catalyst for dialogue and critical reflection, which are often the first steps towards change, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And it sounds like her exhibition wasn't just about showcasing art. It was about like creating a space for her community to come together,
Yeah.
to engage with these themes, maybe even find inspiration to take action in their own lives.
Exactly. It's like art as a starting point for something bigger, a way to connect people and spark action.
For sure.
And it makes me think that art isn't just for galleries or museums. It's a tool that anyone can use to express themselves, to find their voice.
Yeah, I love that.
You don't need to be a quote-unquote professional artist to be creative and make something meaningful.
Totally. And that's what makes Naya's story so inspiring.
Yeah.
It reminds us that art can be this incredible form of communication, a way to connect with others, and even a source of strength when you're facing tough times.
Her story really highlights that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing to see how she's using her talent to uplift her community and start these important conversations. And it makes you think about what you're passionate about and how you might use creativity to, make your own mark on the world.
It really does. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Naya's world, I want to leave you with a question. Think about an issue that really matters to you.
Mm.
Could art be your way of communicating your perspective on it? Maybe inspiring others or even sparking a movement for change.
That's a powerful thought.
Don't underestimate the power of your own creativity, no matter what form it takes.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Naya's journey. It's been a real inspiration.
My pleasure.
And to all of you listening, go out there, explore art, and maybe even create some of your own.
Yes.